Still sleeping.
Of course.
Okay. Okay, so we're live with Joe, and I know I'm going to butcher your name, so I'm going to just let you say it.
Vecchiarelli.
Okay. And you're going to be at Quilt Show Reno this coming up June, and
Yeah,
you're going
my
to be
final
teaching
show.
classes.
My final show.
Okay. So tell us, what are you going to be teaching at Quilt Show Reno? What do
Oh
people need to
gosh,
sign up before it's too late?
how exciting is that? So we are going to be teaching several courses. I'm teaching a class with body shaping, so people always want to know, how do you, when you do a garment and you need a body form, how do you make it your size? What if you lose weight? What if you gain weight? I teach you all these tips and tricks like I do with Dancing with the Stars and with all my celebrities, that same technique. So we take a body form and they're able to get one that bring, and they're able to body shape themselves to that body form. And then we can eventually, there's another class where we could take that same body form, and there's a draping class, so we could actually learn to drape on it. And then there's a class where we take you, in that same class we teach you the technique of how, when you drape on it, what do you do with it? How do you drape on it, and what do you do with that drape? And we teach them how to take it to a pattern, and that pattern we teach them how to make all these different creative fabulous designs with it. That's a different class. I think I've got a great sleeve class there. People always fail with making sleeves in the garment. I'm teaching a class with Lorraine Henry. It's a 4 hour class, and which I think is sold out. I almost think that's sold out. Um, that's, if there is any openings, that's a great class where we're going to actually do fittings and on everybody and get them to create a pattern, which is phenomenal. But
So
definitely my
if we're like, I'm a quilter per se, I'm not really a clothes maker. If But I know that clothing's coming back in, and I've brought a ton of
it is.
patterns into my shop. But a lot of the people that are going to be there are mainly quilters. So what would entice them to take a class on clothing? Like, what is it going to be simple enough for us who only know how to sew straight seams? We don't know anything about insets, onsets,
Oh
draping.
my gosh. My techniques is probably the easiest technique that has been ever created by mankind. When I put a course together in 3 hours, they're able to go out and actually do a garment. It's not geometry or algebra. It is simple, basic techniques in there. And I've never had a woman fail to take my class. Actually, I've only had women progress. And the problem, let me tell you something, Beth. Problem is with the home sewers, what they've been having of issues, they buy these store-bought patterns, and my philosophy is your body's perfect and the pattern's wrong, because those patterns are not intended to be for yourself. Those patterns are intended to be generic, as a generic fit for a universal body, and your body is the perfect fit. And I teach you how to take that pattern and how to take that fit to your perfect body, how to make that adjustment so that pattern works. Add ease, add seam allowance, you got the perfect garment. Now what they're doing is they're taking that commercial pattern, trying to make all these alt pattern alteration adjustments, knowing what they're making it to. They have nobody has a clue where they're going to fit bigger, smaller, and we use it basically off their body. We're working off their body. I have listen. There's nobody in the world that has done more costumes for the people on TV for Dancing with Stars, 400 to 500 costumes in a week, based on fit, based on a body. And this is the thing I'm driving home. I want people to understand that what I'm doing is I'm doing it to your body. If you learn all these basic techniques on fitting, on body shaping, on pattern draping, who cares about draping? The draping is just a basic initiative to get you in to do the pattern, in understanding how you move the darts, where do you put the darts, how do you do bust alterations, how do you do all these wonderful techniques. I have it, I teach it, and there's nobody in the world that understands bodies better than I do. Let me tell you something. On every major TV network, I don't care if it's ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News, every major celebrity. I'm working with Dolly Parton Productions right now. I just worked with her all morning, creating her, working with Dolly. And let me tell you, if I can work with Dolly and I can work with all these different people, I could work with anybody in the home sewing business with my eyes closed, blindfolded. And and I can make them understand that basic techniques of sewing a garment and how easy it is once they take my classes. And by the way, this is my last go round at some of these shows because I'm going to be focused moving on to the next chapter. And I'm going on into working with like Dolly Parton Productions and working at the studios pretty much. That's where my business manager wants me to focus. But so if there's anybody out there that's going to be in Reno and hasn't registered for my classes, let me tell you something. You should be dialing up those classes as fast as you can because it's never going to happen again with me.
Oh gosh, I hate to hear never. But so are you going to start teaching on Tuesday? When do your classes start?
Yes,
I
it does. I believe it does start Tuesday. Everything again is on the Reno Quilts website. I'm
yeah,
teaching Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm teaching
gosh,
different classes every day, and they and my all my classes are great classes. By the way, all my classes are great classes, and
right.
and and I don't care what it. I guarantee them. I guarantee them to be in that they will leave there thrilled and smiles on their face when they leave my classes. And I work with everybody individually, not as a group. I work with everybody individually in the class and to see what their needs are and how can I help them individually as a person. When they go home, they could take home some great knowledge with them.
And then you also have a booth there, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. We have over 10,000 notions. And how did these 10,000 notions? Everything that the studios has been using over the years, guess what? I dial it up and French European buys it. And we do and we're the only company out there that has close to 10,000 notions. And I think I'm even offering a notions class there in Reno. And I teach how, why, and when to use it. And they're specialty notions. They're not notions that people know about, just like a four-fold bias folder. Nobody knows what that is. There's always has a bias folder, but a fourfold, really? That's crazy. And so I teach things like that, and I even give the stuff away at the end of the class. I don't keep it. Everybody gets something in the notions class, which is phenomenal. So that's another great class.
That's exciting.
All my
Like I want
classes.
to do that one.
Oh yeah, hello. It's fabulous, and it's whether you're a quilter or a fashion sewer, it pertains to both.
Yeah.
And I teach all that good stuff for that, which is really cool.
So for my basic clientele and most of the ladies that are coming to the quilt show, we're not dancing with the stars kind of body. We're just the regular quilter's body,
Sure,
and we're sitting at our sewing machine sewing. Every once in a
absolutely.
while, we have to actually get dressed up to go to dinner or something.
Uh huh.
Um, so the techniques that you're going to be teaching are going to be we'll be able to take them and gear it towards clothing for us, not necessarily Dancing with the Stars, although I'd like to look like that all the
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely. Of course, that's the whole idea. I teach these basic techniques and a simple technique like how do you do dart adjustments? How do you and different fabrics? And what do you?
Hmm.
How do what's it with a woven and a knit and all these different fabrics? How they react to the body? That's how I was working with Dolly this morning. How does that knit compare to the woven with her full size bust? To make that fabric uh, work smoothly. And I use Dolly as a big example in the classroom and with images and techniques so they could see, hey, this is what's going on with Dolly. This same problem. Here's the photograph. Here's what we're correcting. This is the same thing that we're going to work with you with. And
Okay.
nobody offers that. Nobody. And
Right.
it's
Right.
basic. It's basic, basic, basic. And so they go to do it and they're like, wow, I just made myself a pattern that works for me. It fits me.
Right.
Hello, you know, which is fabulous. And then we talk. Listen, I'm going to be straight up with you. I do talk about the body form. Body form is really, really important. People want to sew at home and don't understand. It's you need to. What we're trying to do is mimic your body. Create a garment to your body. So most people stand in front of a mirror, they work on a flat pattern table and try to make these corrections. But if you got your body standing in front of you and you take that commercial pattern and you're able to apply it to your body and make the adjustments on your body in front of you and visually see it, it makes all the world of difference because you know where to move the dart on the body, how to manipulate the dart with your princess seams and what have you. It works. Let me tell you something. It is guaranteed to work. It's guaranteed to work. I've been doing this for 14 years in the home market, and I've yet to have a failure.
I'm super excited. I'm gonna have to go check out the website and see what classes I can fit in around my schedule.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll have a great time. Just come
yeah,
on in. Yeah, just come on. Even if it's for 15 minutes, Beth, just come on in. Yeah,
perfect.
you'll enjoy it. Absolutely. And I encourage everybody out there. Reno Quilt Show I was there last year, and I have to tell you, I had a phenomenal turnout. I was actually blown away by the turnout. And this year is not going to be any different. My classes are relatively all full. There are some seats available still. There are
Yeah,
some seats still available, but I don't anticipate it to be any different than last year. And I had quilters and sewers and beginners and advanced people. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm really excited
yeah,
about it.
yeah. Well, I'm excited. Your booth was actually near my booth, and your booth was packed like all day, every day.
You saw it
Yes,
last year. It was.
yes,
It was crazy last year.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't anticipate this year to be any different. Um, and we're excited to be there and for our final year, actually. So for those people that are in Reno or thinking about taking a class in Reno, they should be dialing me up because they're not going to I guarantee you they're not going to get this opportunity again because it's already been written in stone by my business manager that Reno will be the final year for us. So,
right.
I hope that people uh, take uh, take take these
Take advantage
classes,
of it. Yeah,
take advantage
yeah,
while I'm there, and
yeah.
then they could hear some of the current Dolly stories that I'm working on at the same time.
Oh my gosh, I would be willing to take the classes just to hear about Dolly.
Oh, she's fabulous. Dolly's
Yes,
fabulous. What we're
yeah,
doing
she's
with
my hero.
Dolly, what I'm working with Dolly right now is off the charts, off the charts. And
Yeah,
I work with Dolly every day. And I'm one of the only persons in the country that anybody's going to get close to that works with Dolly Parton. You know,
yeah,
so which
yeah.
is pretty cool. And also Dancing with the Stars. I mean, I've worked with pretty much everybody. There's not a celebrity I haven't worked with over the
Hmm.
years. And I get that same thing when I'm working with the people at the Reno Quilt Show. It's the same thing. I get to work with them individually. And then they can say, "Well, how do you do this with Dolly? This is how we do it, with Dolly, and this is what I recommend doing it with you." So it's going to be cool, way cool.
Yeah. So before we logged on, you were telling me how you got into the industry. So you want to tell a little bit about that real quick because I think they would love to hear that.
Oh, how I got in the industry. Yeah, I was working at Paramount Studios. My family always was in the scissor sharpening business when I was a very young age, and they did studio work and they were doing garment industry work. But my interest, my uh, likings was this TV industry because I wanted to be around celebrities at a young age, and we were working at Paramount Studios under Star Trek with Star Trek, and my dad had sent me to Paramount to sharpen drop up some scissors that he had sharpened, and they were in the when I was there, they were looking to get a body form for Spock. And I knew that if the only way I could get back in there is if I say, "Hey, I have a body form that fits Spock," which I had no clue about. Anyway, Carol said, "What do you do? Bring us body form tomorrow." And I said, "Okay, I'll bring back tomorrow with a body form." And I go, "Oh man, I just screwed up this account big time, right?" Anyways, so the next day we were at the beach day with my buddies. As I told you, Beth, we went downtown LA, and I had a kind of inclination because my dad was in the industry, and I went to a place and they asking if they had a used body form for a 38 male, whatever the heck it was. I had no clue, so they did, and there's four of us buddies that went down there. I had to con them into taking me by giving them $20 each. And so we went down there, and I went to the place, and I asked him, he said, "Yeah, I used a male 38 body form." I go, "How much is it?" He goes, "Well, it's $400." Well, I only had $100. anyways, I had to con my guys that brought me, not telling them what I was getting, into giving me $100 each, our beach money, of course. And the only way I could get that was by giving them another $20 when I later on in the day, and hoping that it would work. And so they each gave me the 100. I went and bought the darn body for them. We brought this thing out to the convertible Mustang with 15 and 16-year-olds and a red convertible Mustang going down Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. Imagine that. And these guys hated me for that. Anyways, long story short, we brought this to Paramount Studios and took it in the back. The guys were all angry at me, and they waited outside of the studios while I brought this male body form inside that they had to hold down so it wouldn't fly off the freeway. Um, and took it back in there, and they measured it. And she goes, "Well, by George, this is perfect." And I said, "Of course it's perfect. I wouldn't expect it to be anything otherwise." She goes, "Well, how much do you want for it?" I says, "Well, would you consider like $1,000?" And she goes, "By George, I'll send you up to finance to get petty cash." Well, that was let me tell you something. I came downstairs as fast as I could, paid out my buddies, and I just made the biggest amount of money. And those guys were working for $5 a dollar, $5 an hour at McDonald's, and I just made myself a cool $400 in about 2 hours. And that
Right.
was my entry into the body form business at 15 years old. Since then, I bought 5 body form companies. My background goes. I'm now the largest body form manufacturer in the world today. We Since then I became a very highly educated person in the fashion business because I learned through Helen Joseph Armstrong, for 2 years, private tutoring, taught me everything about fit. Her books are used at every major college across America and across the world. And was good friends with her. So she taught me everything about fit. I knew everything about body forms. So when you put the two together, you got the only person in the world that could do both body form creation and fitting to make it perfect for the industry. And I am the only certified fit specialist for national TV today. And that is
Wow.
my background, which is pretty amazing portfolio. And that's why I say to these women out there, you know what? And I'm currently working with Dolly Parton as we speak. I'm doing but lots of big projects for her, and I work directly with them and her, and I'm excited about that, and I'm proud of it. And I am still working on Dancing with the Stars on Monday nights in the fall. So with my background, you know what? There's nobody else that has that background that could do
Right.
what I do, and I hope that people take advantage of it.
Oh, definitely. Well, and I think it's really exciting for me because the last time I made a garment was make it with wool in 4-H, and
Oh wow! Oh
it didn't
wow! God.
yeah, it didn't quite fit right, but I did win it. I did win, and I won a modeling scholarship from that back when I was like 15.
How about
Um,
that, Beth? You're
I,
great.
I know, but it didn't fit. I look at the photos and it did not fit at all. Um, so I never made any kind of clothing after that. So I'm excited. I'm actually going to go look at what you've got. I'm going to go to quiltshowreno.com and look at the classes that still are available because I know they're going to fill up quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. We
Yeah.
have about a month away. We still have about a month away, but I know the classes are relatively uh, quite full. There
Yes.
are openings. There are openings. I talked to Opal. There are openings still.
Right.
So we're really hoping that people log on and get in some of those classes with us
Yeah.
and take advantage. If you know what, if I was coming back next year, I'd say, yeah, you know what, great, but
Now,
take
don't put
advantage
off
of
until
it.
tomorrow what you can do today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sign up
Absolutely.
today and get, you know what? Today is never going to be, you're never going to be better than you are today.
Nope, you're right.
Yes.
Absolutely
Yes.
right. And you take the challenge, uh, and do what you got to do. I mean, I'm doing some, and I will share some great stories with Dolly Parton in the class with all the students in
Yeah.
fittings. I've got photographs, I got images that they'll be able to see, and I'll explain how that would relate to them, which is really cool.
Yes. So if there's
Unlike other
anybody
things.
out there watching this, I know it's super early for all of our people on the West Coast, but if you have any questions for Joe, just go ahead and type those in. Kat says she's going to check out the classes right now. So
Great.
super exciting. Okay. All right. Well, Joe, I want to thank you so much for getting up early. Although you're on the East Coast, aren't you, right now?
Yeah, actually, I was working with Dolly last week in Nashville, and then I came over to Minnesota this week to visit my daughter. I haven't seen her in quite a long time. And then from here, I'm headed over to Chicago. I'm doing the H&H show next week. And then
Yeah.
from Chicago, I'll be back in LA and then doing some more production there. So, yeah, I've been on the road quite a bit. So, anyways, again, I'm so looking forward to Reno. I'm so looking forward to you too, Beth, and to everybody
Yes.
out there, in coming over to my classes and hearing some exciting things, and looking forward to sharing that with you guys.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm really looking forward to the notions class.
Oh,
I hope it's when I can take it.
I hope so too for you. I hope so
Yeah.
for everybody. I really
Yeah.
do. And I thank you so much for this time. And for those of you that are not watching and they watch us later, maybe I don't know.
They'll
Uh,
definitely watch it later.
Definitely get on the computer and see, check out my classes at renoquilts.com. I guess it is. I'm not sure, but look.
QuiltShowReno.com.
Yep, look for Joe
Yeah.
Vecchiarelli. Look for Joe Vecchiarelli, and I'm teaching, I think, 6 or 7 different classes throughout the whole show. Hopefully that you can fit one of those classes in your schedule. And let me tell you, and I will say this one last time, if you are having struggles with sewing at home or want to learn any techniques about home sewing, let not stop here. Please get in one of my classes, and I'll make that change for you. Guaranteed.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm probably gonna go home with a dress form, although she won't be riding in such style as a Mustang. Because when I'm at the shows, I'm in a kidnapper van, but
I
she'll be in the
love it,
back of the
Bev. I love
kidnapper
you,
van.
Bev.
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
might
be
have to
so
put a
fun.
wig on her or something, with her hands like
How
help,
cool.
help.
Yes, yes. Isn't that great? Oh my God. Yes, yes. How cool is that?
uh,
Thanks.
all
Thanks,
right.
Beth. I really
Thank.
appreciate your time this morning
Oh,
here in Minnesota and wherever you are across. You're in Nevada somewhere, I think.
yes,
But
up by Lake Tahoe.
oh, my parents lived up there for years in Carson City, Nevada.
Yeah. Well,
So, are,
I'm about 10 minutes from Carson City.
oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
I wish I was there. Oh, how
It's
fabulous it.
beautiful.
I
It
love
is.
that area. I love that.
Yeah.
Beth, I'm so looking forward to seeing you up there in Reno.
Likewise. Likewise. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Signing
Bye
out.
bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we are going to go straight into Linda Hahn. I can see she's back there waiting. And she's from Frog Hollow Designs. And, I don't even need to really introduce her because she is great at doing it herself. Hang on a second. Let me pull her up here. Um, I'm the one that struggles with techie stuff. Hey,
Oh,
Linda. Good morning. How are you?
good morning. Good
All right.
morning.
All right. So, what are you going to be doing at Quilt Show Reno this year?
I have all the quilts in a little PowerPoint,
Okay.
and I I did practice this morning.
Did you already
And
do jazzercise this morning?
no, I actually took the day off.
Okay. Okay. I'm just saying, girls, sometimes I think she breaks out with the jazzercise in her quilting classes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. You never know what to expect in your classes. I've been teaching in the class next door to you. It's
Oh,
always a party.
all right. Let me share my screen.
Okay, here, I'm going to make you number 1 here. If I can figure out how. There you go.
All right. And where did it go? Okay. Just give me 1 second here. Slide, share screen.
So you're going to be coming to us from Florida.
No, I moved.
You did. Where did you move to?
I did. I am coming from Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's still quite a distance.
It is, yes. And can you see me?
I can see you, but I can't see your computer.
Okay. All right, let me come back to you. Window. There it is. Okay. Can you see me now? Can you see it now?
I'm here a minute. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Well, let's start off with Wednesday, June 12th. Intro to EQ8. I do this quite a bit, and I am an EQ artist, and one of my quilts is actually with Electric Quilt in the different show booths. And we're going to cover what all the tabs mean, and I'm going to share some of my designer tips to make your life even easier. You know, because people look at this and they're like, oh man, every one of those tabs, there's another tab at least with all these different options. And I'm going to cover that, how to bring fabric in, how to flip the fabric easy, swap the colors, and all the little extra buttons that you have. It's a lot of fun, and you will definitely come out learning something. And you'll be able to design your own quilt. I have 14 books out and over 50 magazine articles and designs, and everything was designed in EQ. And clearly, I'm not a techie, and I can do it. So that is Wednesday, June 12th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Intro to EQ8. On Wednesday, June 12th, from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, this quilt is amazing, this design. I don't know, can you still hear me? Because I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all.
I can still hear you.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yep. Yep. You're doing good.
Okay.
So I don't have
Diane-
to be techie to be able to take that class and learn how to design my own quilts. The computer program's super easy to use.
It absolutely is.
Okay.
And this Guyon Great quilt that you're looking at now, this is the afternoon class.
Wait,
this
the PowerPoint went away.
Okay. All right,
girls, bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're quilters. I don't know how we ended up having to be so techie.
Oh, please. Please. There we go. Share screen.
I think you have to go to the StreamYard link again, because you had a second link. Yep, there you go. There you go. Okay.
All right, and let me get it. All right. Can you see this Guyon Gray?
I love that one.
This one has so many possibilities. And by the way, all the quilts that you're going to see through the rest of the presentation, they're all designed in EQ. That's how quick it goes. This quilt is using the New York Beauty block. Now, I have a technique to make New York Beauty blocks using just one pin, and they come out perfect the first time you do it. I've had beginners, I've had advanced folks, and everybody is successful. And this Guyon Gray is my most popular workshop. As soon as it came out, everybody was booking it because there's so many possibilities. The little quilt on the left is made from the scraps and cutaways of the main project. So you don't have to throw out your cutaways. You can incorporate them and make a miniature. It can be an exact replica, or it can be a whole different design, but it's using the scraps and cutaways. So as you make the big project, you can make an optional miniature quilt with those scraps. So you're cutting yourself a kit for the mini. The next quilt, oh, we can see a cursor. The next quilt shows one of the possibilities, and it has the spires, which are the pointier parts of the block. The spires in different colors, and the alternate block, which is made up from my scraps, they're all going in the same direction. When you go down to the next quilt, you can see that I've alternated them vertical and horizontal, and I changed the color of the spires to be solid black. So it gives a little bit more dynamic finish. The quilt all the way on the right has borders. So you can really choose what you would like. And if you don't want to do rail fence and you don't have those kind of scraps, you can certainly do 9 patches. You can do other blocks in there. Everything in the quilts that I've made, it's just all scraps, total scraps. So this is Guyon Gray, and it goes really fast. Once you learn this technique that I do, you can make up to 6 blocks an hour. So that's how fast it goes.
Wow. It looks so intricate, like you'd have to be a perfectionist piecer.
Not at all. Not at all. I am not, I am totally not a perfect piecer. I'll admit that to you.
That's always good to know.
Yeah. I tell my girls, I can't sew a 9 patch with straight seams, but I can do these.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not a piecer per se, so it seems those points look overwhelming, but I'm sure you've got tips and tricks to make them come
Absolutely.
out right. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Now, and the kit that you get, you're getting some acrylic templates and a reusable stencil, so that any of the quilts that you see in any of my 4 New Year beauty books, or that I would show in a lecture, or what you're seeing here, you can make any of them once you get that initial kit that comes with your workshop there.
Okay.
Now on Thursday, this is a New Year beauty. It's the same basic block, but now we're spinning it. So we're kind of skewing it and adding some color.
Where's the picture for Thursday?
You can't see it?
Nope, I've got Wednesday, June 12th.
Okay, we got Guyon Gray.
Yep.
Do you see South Shore Spinners now?
Nope.
Okay, let me hit it again. What do you see now?
The Guyon Gray.
Okay.
I
hope I don't have to.
Oh, you just left the room.
I left the room.
Yep, you got to bring that one back onto StreamYard.
Okay. Here we go again. Present. At least I'm getting quicker now. All right, you can see Guyon Gray.
Yep.
You can see South
Here
Shore
we go.
Spinners.
South Beach Spinners. Okay.
South Beach Spinners.
Yep.
Now, just Guyon Gray is named for my best friend on Staten Island. We used to play on Guyon Avenue. So the 4th book in the series that just recently came out, all the quilt names are Staten Island themed, because I was born and raised on Staten Island. So Thursday, South Beach Spinners. South Beach, Staten Island used to have a boardwalk before Superstorm Sandy went through. And we used to go down there, walk on the boardwalk, and go to all the little food trucks and food carts. This is on Thursday, June 13th, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And again, once you get the technique, you can do a different version, which is the black version. That took a little bit longer because you couldn't sew it together. You had to make the blocks and place them so you could get the secondary little star spinners going on. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Can you see Mardi Gras?
Nope.
I don't know why this is not going. Well, just do it this way.
Okay. Once you find something that works, just stick to it. It never
Yeah,
fails when you're live that you have little quirks like this.
At least I could go so much quicker. There we go. All right, on.
So in the classes, they're going to learn the techniques and they're going to sew a few blocks. They're not going to get this whole project done, right?
No, they'll learn the different techniques, and they'll be able to finish their project at home.
And just per chance, I just know my ladies, sometimes a whole quilt is overwhelming, but they could take and do 2 rows of it or something and make it into a table runner, or use the different blocks because the blocks are so beautiful, and put them into other, like a tote bag pocket or something.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So learning the techniques is really what is of great value here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this quilt that you're seeing, Mardi Gras, I hope.
Yes, we got Mardi Gras now.
This is only 1 block.
Really?
Really. One of the things that I like to do that's not New York Beauty related is I like to take 1 block and put it into a quilt, using electric quilt, by the way. And it's where you put the fabric that creates the secondary and tertiary patterns inside the block or the quilt. And it's a surprise. It is truly a surprise. And I put a larger second colorway in there, which is an electric quilt. So it's not a real quilt. These are just electric quilt images with fabric imported. And it's just 1 block. So you're going to learn how to make the components. And we are going to use triangles on a roll, which is in the kit, enough for the quilt. And it makes half square triangles go ridiculous fast. And they come out so accurate. There's no more drawing the lines. You just kind of cut off a piece of fabric or a chunk of fabric, put the paper on, pin it, sew. And the paper is sort of kind of like gynecological paper. So if there's any guys listening, you really got to be there. But the paper rips super easy, and your triangles are ready to go.
I didn't even know there was such a thing as gynecological paper, but okay, I get it.
It's that stuff on the roll.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to see if this will advance to the next slide.
Okay.
Do you see Bermuda Sunrise?
No, definitely not.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Sandy, how are you? Welcome. So if any of you are listening and you want to ask Linda some questions, we would love to have your input. And we are so grateful that you joined us bright and early this Friday morning. So you can go to quiltshowreno.com and you can see the full list of the classes that Linda will be offering. And it looks like you're teaching every single day.
I am. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, what do we got here? Okay. Next. On Thursday evening, this is a fabulous scrap quilt. And the picture is kind of grainy. For $20, all you need to do is bring your machine. I will have a packet of 6.5-inch batik squares that I've already cut for you, and that will make a whole row. And I'm gonna show you my technique for mixing, matching, and dealing the fabric out to make this cool quilt. We just moved. I've been physically in my house, I guess, about maybe a month, even though we moved in January, because I've been running all over the place on the road. You can make this bigger just from your scrap pile if you would like. And I also gave you several different options so you can lay it out, choose the way that you would like to lay it out. And I just love this. I love it.
Even if they just did one row in that evening, they would be going home with a table runner.
Sure. Absolutely.
And using up scraps, girls. We're all looking to use up our stash.
Yeah, and this is the one to do it because there's so many options that you can do, and it will go super fast for you. And that's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Thursday. Ooh. What do you see?
I say Bermuda sunrise.
Okay. I tried a different way of. Yeah, and that still didn't work.
That's all right. Our girls are patient. They know that we're really creative sewers, not techie computer whizzes.
Oh, I'm glad they know that. Okay. Beauty on the Beach.
Yep.
This quilt is amazing. Amazing. The larger piece on the left is done from my fabric collection, Island Vibes 2, with Banyan Batiks, as is this blue one on the right. These are all done in EQ8. The only real quilt is this one with the green. So you can really have a lot of fun. Again, with EQ8, once you know the tips and tricks, you can incorporate this into what you're doing. Now, this one also does the New York Beauty block, but it incorporates it into a Mariner, what do they call them? Carpenter Star block. Now, this quilt, I am making my 5th one now to go with the decor in my new house. And it took me 11 hours to make the quilt and quilt it, not bind it, because I'm very slow at binding.
Wait, 11 hours from start to finish?
Yeah.
Wow. It would take me 11 hours to pick the fabrics.
Yeah. It's all half square triangles and rectangles.
Okay. And they're larger pieces.
They're larger pieces, and it does. People will send me pictures. If you get a designated place in your house where you're going to hang this, they're so quick. You can make one for Christmas. You can make one for Halloween. You can just change the colors and just keep replacing it.
And what size is it?
Oh, I'm thinking it's about 48 by 48.
Okay.
Or 58 by 58. It's in that range. You can use a 60-inch square batting. So,
okay.
Yeah, and it does. It goes super duper quick.
It looks
and they'll make really nice gifts. Oh, and a lot of people send me these pictures with ribbons hanging. These do well in the local and regional shows.
Yes.
So, and it's just, like I said, I'm doing my the one in grays and browns and taupes to go with the decor in my new house. So, all right, here we go. I'm not even gonna try this.
Okay. Kat says she likes that one. She says we have children to take care of the techie stuff.
Yeah, my children, they're at work right now.
Yeah, mine like roll their eyes and are so irritated when I call them because I can't get the printer to work.
Yeah, and do you still see Beauty on the Beach?
Yep, I sure do.
Okay. That is Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. What do you see now?
Beach bums.
Oh my God. Finally, the last slide, we get it.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes.
Beach bums. This is a version of the New York Beauty that is more on the traditional side and what you might expect to see using New York Beauty. It's Friday from 5:30 to 9:30, and you'll get a good part of this done. You can choose whether you would like to have a border or not. And I've shown you some samples. The 3 pinky blue ones, 4 samples there. Those are with my fabrics. And I put a little fall one in there to show you that you can change the fabrics and get a whole different look. If you were into like the Civil War fabrics, you could certainly use that. And depending on the batting that you use, you could get a real antique feeling from this quilt. The handout includes the yardage and the cutting to make a larger version if you'd like to do that. So these are nice and small, get them done quick, and it goes really, really fast.
So in that evening class, will they get that block done?
They'll get 4 blocks, 4 of the New York Beauty blocks done, at least 1 star and a piece of the border.
Okay, so they'll be well on their way.
Very well on your way.
And for those of you who haven't taken a class at Reno where you need to bring your sewing machine, they make it pretty easy for you. They'll store it for you at no additional charges. You can actually check in your sewing machine with the registration or whoever's handling the classes, and they'll babysit your machine until your next class. So it's pretty easy. Can you think of anything else? You've taught at Reno, haven't you?
Yeah, this will be my 3rd time coming back.
Okay. And I don't know. Sometimes I hear people say, oh, I don't want to drag my machine around. But you're not having to take it up and down to your room. And it's kind of nice at the Grand Sierra. Everything's kind of pretty down on that main one floor, and all the classes are together. So it's pretty convenient. And there's Connie's the promoter of the show. Her son is there, and he's super helpful if you need help with getting things around.
Yeah, let's see. Who's Katie Bandauer? She doesn't.
Oh, you don't even open that can of worms.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I love Katie, but Katie, I think that Linda has taken the challenge. Sign up for her class, and she will make you into a perfectionist sewer.
Yeah, let's see. Victor would like which one there, Cats?
Victor would like the one that goes quick and easy. He likes to do a quilt a day. Yeah.
Well, depends on what your day is. I mean, my day starts at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Holy cow.
And then I will, about 9, 10 o'clock is when I take my lunch break. And that's when I'll go to Zumba, do my errands, and then I'll come back and I'll work some more.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to have those breaks in between. Otherwise you go crazy like me. So you mentioned that you do design fabric for Island Batik, I think you said.
Banyan.
Banyan. Okay. And you have your own fabric lines that are out in shops right now?
Yes. Paradise Bay is the most recent one.
Okay.
And that's some bright colors. And excuse me 1 second. You can actually download those from the Banyan Northcott website and put them on your computer and then import them into EQ.
So which class is going to really cover EQ if they want to get into being able to lay out and design their quilts?
The first one, Intro to EQ 8.
Okay, and that was Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Okay. So girls and gentlemen, you can go to quiltshowreno.com. You can look up Linda Hahn. She's the very first instructor on the list, so you don't have to go looking for her. Click on that and it will tell you all of the classes she is offering. And literally, I have been teaching in a classroom next to her, and all you hear is giggling and laughing, and I don't know, they might be breaking out into, I don't know, dancing at points. You just never know. Katie, you are not a slow learner. You just like to have a good time. But I'm sure that Doug would love to take you up to the Grand Sierra so he could gamble and you could take classes for the week.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's a great venue for husbands because they can kind of go golfing. Anybody who's coming from out of town, Grand Sierra is a great place to stay. There's tons of entertainment, restaurants. If your husband wants to come with you, I don't really know why you'd want to bring him, but if you did, there's plenty of things for him to keep occupied while you're taking classes and shopping. Okay, Linda, do you have anything else? Anything else we need to know before we log off and get to working?
Oh, just you will learn a lot with me, and you'll have fun. I like to entertain and educate, and all your resulting quilts will be stunning.
Yes, yes. And you make paper piece. I'm assuming it's paper piece. A lot of it's paper piece to get those perfect points. So I know we just did a paper piecing class here at my shop, and we literally had the gals. They needed it Barney-fied, we called it, because paper piecing sometimes for those of us who aren't piecers necessarily. I mean, we kind of are more artsy. Slap a butterfly on it. You don't have to worry about points. We are intimidated by paper piecing. Do you take that do you have tricks and tips you teach in the class for paper piecing for those who are a little bit leery or they feel like they're not up to the level of paper piecing? Any skill level can take
Absolutely.
the class.
Any skill level can do paper piecing. I have a little different way of doing my technique. We use a piecing tool that everybody has on them right now, and it's free.
Okay. Perfect. And they love free. Sandy says she never got the hang of EQ. She has an older version. I think the trick to EQ is actually using it. Like you struggle the first little bit and then it makes sense.
Yeah. And even, when you take the class, learning the right buttons or tabs to click for what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to just click around because some of my designs have come from clicking a button and like, oh, look at this. And then you just click a little bit more and something happens. So it's, that's how that Mardi Gras quilt, that's the one block.
Right.
I have quite a few of those designs, and it comes from clicking around and rotating and clicking the right button, and that all the blocks rotate until they rotate into something that clicks for you, and you can say, "Oh, I'm seeing a secondary thing going on," and then you just put some color in there, and it's like, "Oh wow," and it's one block.
Yeah. I think that's the trick. You have to be willing to dedicate some time to learning the program.
Yeah.
And playing with it. And it's like anything. We tend to want to be able to be perfectionists the first 3 minutes that we're giving it a try.
Yeah.
It's our nature. But you have to, I think with anything worth doing, you have to invest a little bit of time.
Yeah. And I always tell the students when they're doing the New York Beauties, you need to learn it before you can perfect it.
Right.
So do it, and you're going to stumble through the first block just because it's I don't want to say weird. It's not weird what I do. It's different because we're going to use a different foundation paper. that stays in the quilt.
Oh,
It's made
perfect.
in
I love
magic
that.
paper. So there's no ripping, and
Mhm.
it makes life so much easier. And you can do it. It makes it go so much faster, because you're not going like this or checking anything.
Yeah.
It makes it go so much faster.
Oh gosh, it'd be worth taking the class just to learn that technique.
Yeah, Sherry. Sherry, I am in LA.
She's headed home today. Okay. All right. It's good to see all of you. Thank you guys for joining. And make sure that you go to quiltshowreno.com to see what classes are available. And I strongly suggest, there's a lot of shows that are out there, but Quilt Show Reno is really it's one of the better shows. It's very personable. There's a great quilt display. Like, you're going to see lots of quilt displays, great vendors, and great classes.
And
there's
it's comfortable.
yes. And there's really, we have a lot of vendor shows that don't really have the quilt displays or the classes. And Connie, who is the promoter of this show, really does an amazing job and a ton of effort into getting everything all under one roof. And she brings teachers like Linda and Joe, and if you look at the teacher list, she brings teachers from all over, the big names, so it's kind of exciting. Where else, Linda, have you taught? I always love to hear where people are teaching.
I've been at Road to California.
Yes, which is an amazing show. Mark your calendars for that. That's in January.
Yep. And you'll see me there because I work there as well.
Yes.
I taught this year. I taught at AQS Branson.
Okay.
Missouri. Indiana Heritage Quilt Show, Maine Quilts. And I travel to guilds all the time. Usually when people ask me, where do you live? I tell them the Hampton Inn.
No joke. People don't realize how much teachers are on the road.
Yeah. I have not been in my new house barely a month physically, even though we moved like January 7th, because I've been on the road. We moved, we dropped the stuff off, emptied the trucks, and then off I went to Road to California.
Right.
And I left my husband to put the boxes in the right rooms.
Yeah. Oh, good luck. No, sometimes I joke about it because people think, oh, you're so lucky you own a quilt shop. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so lucky you've never seen the sweat dripping down your back like a quilt shop owner. Yeah. I mean, and teachers were dragging our bags through airports, and it's a lot of work, but it's a gratifying, it's a fun lifestyle.
It is. And you meet so many different people, and it really makes me happy. The reason why I teach is, I've taken that New York beauty, I've made it doable for anybody. And when we do the trim to make the magic happen, their faces just light up. They're looking down, they do it, and they hold their block up, and they're beaming.
Right. They didn't even know they had the ability to do it.
Yeah. Yes. Empowering.
Yes.
And they'll wave it, and they'll show their other students. Sometimes they'll do a dance for me.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I have fun.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so you guys want to go to quiltshowreno.com and look up Linda Hahn. She's the very first instructor on the list under instructors, and see what classes are still available and get signed up, because the classes do fill up. I know we kind of wait till the last minute to see what our schedules are doing, but you're going to want to sign up quick. All right, Linda, thank you for taking time out of your morning to join us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
All right. Take care. Thank you. And go get signed up, girls. Have a great day and get some sewing done. Go sew.